Interpol joins EFCC in crackdown on 1.3 trillion naira crypto bank exchange fraud. On the foreign scene, Senegalese lawmaker proposes high treason charges against former President Macky Sall over financial misconduct. Iran says its right to uranium enrichment is non-negotiable. And in sports, Onana faces dates with Destiny as Man United chase Lyon win. Hello and welcome to News at 1. I am Aino Grace. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has launched a full-scale investigation into a suspected 1.3 trillion naira crypto fraud linked to the now default digital investment platform, Crypto Bank Exchange. EFCC confirmed it is partnering with the International Criminal Police Organization to track both local and international corporates behind the scam. CBEX, reportedly operated by foreign nationals in partnership with Nigerians, abruptly collapsed on Monday, leaving thousands of investors locked out of their accounts. The federal government has pledged to protect lives and livelihoods and infrastructure nationwide by issuing timely, accurate, and actionable flood alerts and advisories. The Director of Erosion, Flood and Coastal Zone Management at the Federal Ministry of Environment, Usman Bokani, gave the assurance in his 2025 Flood Watch Awareness and Preparedness message. Recall that a few days ago, the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Usev, in his announcement during the official presentation of the 2025 Annual Flood Outlook by the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency in Abuja, said that approximately 1,249 communities across 176 local government areas in 30 states and the federal capital are expected to experience significant flooding between April and November this year. The Minister of Defense, Badru Abubakar, has held a high-level operational briefing with the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and serving chiefs to evaluate ongoing efforts to tackle insecurity across the country, particularly in the northern region. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the Minister's personal assistant on media and publicity, Marty Ali, following the meeting held at the Minister's office in Abuja, which provides the Minister with a detailed overview of the current situation, operational challenges and strategic efforts by the armed forces to combat insurgency, banditry, and other security threats. The minister was specifically briefed on developments in the northeast, northwest, north central, plateau, and the southeast regions facing heightened threats from Boko Haram insurgents, bandits, kidnappers, and communal unrest. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, has disclosed that Nigeria loses about $2 billion yearly to medical tourism, saying that the country must build health sovereignty and not rely on foreign care. Pate, who was represented by the Chief Medical Director of Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Wasiu Adeyemo, stated this at an event in Surulere, Lagos State. He said that the lack of confidence in local health care and the citizenry's inability to access quality health partly contributed to the figure. Adeyemo also mentioned that the government is committed to revitalizing the health sector through the Nigerian Health Sector Renewal Investment Initiative and the 2024-2027 Health Sector Strategic Blueprints. Governor Caleb Mufwan of Plateau State has apologized to the people of Bassa local government area for the failure of the government and security agencies to protect lives and properties as condemnation trailed the killings. This is a survivor of the attack lamented that His sister wouldn't have died if she had not run out of her hiding. Mufwan, who was in the company of security chiefs and members of the State Executive Council, was in Zike community to commiserate with the people on the deaths of over 50 persons killed in the attacks, urging the people not to relent in their efforts to secure their communities and ensure that they complement security agencies' efforts by providing vital information for intelligence gathering and expose the antics of the criminals. On the foreign scene, Senegalese lawmaker has formally proposed the indictment of former President Macky Sall for high treason. The move follows revelations from the Court of Auditors alleging serious financial misconduct during Sall's presidency between 2019 and 2023. The report points to forged documents, embezzlement, money laundering, and illicit enrichment. While current Justice Minister Ousmane Diagne confirmed that only financial crimes are under investigation for now, it did not rule out future high treason charges if sufficient evidence arises. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has said its right to enrich uranium is not negotiable. Araghchi said this today ahead of a second round of talks in Oman this weekend with the United States about Tehran's disputed nuclear program. Araghchi was responding to a comment made yesterday by the U.S. top negotiator Steve Witkoff, who said Tehran has stopped and eliminates its nuclear enrichment to reach a deal with Washington. Iran and the U.S. are due to hold a second round of talks in Oman on Saturday over Tehran's escalating nuclear program, with President Donald Trump threatening military action if there is no deal. China's President Xi Jinping has arrived in Malaysia as part of a Southeast Asian tour, which is seen as delivering a personal message that Beijing is more reliable trading partner than the United States amid a bruising trade war. This is Xi's first visit to Malaysia since 2013. Xi flew in from Vietnam, where he had signed dozens of trade cooperation agreements with AHO on everything from artificial intelligence to rail development. On touching ground, Xi said that deepening high-level strategic cooperation was good for the common interest of both China and Malaysia and good for peace, stability, and prosperity in the region and the world. And now to sports. Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana has faced a potential make-or-break match for his Manchester United career against Lyon in the European League on Thursday as the English giants battle to keep their season alive. Cameroon international goalkeeper made himself the main talking point ahead of the first leg of the quarter-final in France, which ended in a 2-2 draw, boldly claiming United were better than their opponents. According to figures from the last round of matches since the start of last season, no Premier League goalkeeper had made more errors leading to goals in all competitions than Onana. Meanwhile, Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim defended Onana after last week's draw at Lyon and explained his decision to leave him out at Newcastle. That ends the news. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to listen to live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast and X at Dominion Cast. That ends the news. Good afternoon.
Yes, how did this journey start? And I thank God that I've been part of this journey from the beginning. And I'm privileged and capable to speak about how the journey started. The journey is all about giving back to Nigeria and giving back to this society. Someone will ask me, why Ibadan? And the question is, I'm going to give you 3 reasons where we are in Ibadan. Ibadan was carefully chosen, intentionally chosen, and deliberately chosen in an interface with the visionary and the founder of Domino Brokers Group. And the 3 reasons he gave are this. Radio came to Nigeria, colonial Nigeria, in 1933. It was then Radio Diffusion Service, broadcasting the foreign service of the British Broadcasting Corporation. But a full-fledged radio station, the first of its kind, colonial Nigeria, came to Ibadan in 1939. It was 5 years after, in 1944, that the next radio was established in the city of Kano. It wasn't until 1949 that we had Nigerian Broadcast Service that annexed others. And don't forget the fact that in 1959, that legend called Chief Obafemi Awolowo did the unthinkable by establishing the first television station in Africa. So Ibadan has always been the hub of broadcasting in the annals of Nigeria. So that's why we are here. The second reason is this. Ibadan has always occupied a prime place in the political organogram of Yoruba land and Nigeria. This was here the legendary Chief Obafemi Awolowo administered Western Nigeria and did all those laudable achievements that we all celebrate today. This was where free education initiative began. This was where housing began. And this was where the first television station was established. So the visionary and the founder, Bishop Felix Olabi, believed that he wants to add value to the political headquarters of Yoruba nation. He is a Yoruba patriot, and he deserves a lot of applause for that again. And the third reason being that, regardless of what you think of the Makinde administration, this is one governor that is doing well in terms of infrastructural provision. Roads are being constructed, infrastructures are being developed, just like our governor in Osun State, Senator Nuruddin Ademola Adeleke, is going. So we believe the glorious days of this magnificent city called Ibadan ends while we are here, and that's the third reason. And what are we here to do? Someone told me at the last count, there are about 53 radio stations within the broadcast landscape alone. And I said, yes, why not? We are here to make a difference. I said something yesterday, I was told when I was very young, that I didn't know Latin Yoifi. Which means that in the committee of metals, the platinum stands top. It's top notch. You cannot compare the platinum to gold, to silver, to brass, or to anything. So Dominion is here to dominate in practical terms. And how do we dominate, you may ask me. We dominate because we understand the principles of broadcasting. We know broadcasting is a different species of business entirely. Broadcast is a business that is content-driven. Not only has the visionary, the founder, and his family provided the best broadcast equipment that you can find here in Nigeria. Please put your hands together powerfully if you believe that. You'll be privileged to visit our studios. If you flip through the pages of the programs that you have in your hand, you will see the wonders that we have here. But beyond having equipment alone will not take good voices and good pictures home. Voices, faces we do. We have carefully spanned and scanned the broadcast environment, and we have employed the best in the industry to give you what you want. And let me say this. The founder, the chairman, the visionary, the vice president shocked me. Not one did they call me, please employ this person. No. He said, please go into the market. Please harvest the best brains, the best hand to make this Dominion Broadcast Group indeed a broadcast media that will dominate this broadcast landscape. That's what we have done. There was no interference whatsoever. I know this is my brother's son, this is my sister's son. Please get me the best, because I don't compromise excellence. So put your hands together powerfully for him again for that. So we are here to satisfy people across the genres, regardless of the demography. There's something that's a slice of the bread and the cake that we are baking that you enjoy. If you are elderly like my uncle, the Ashiwaju of Orai Gomina, who is more than 80 years old. If you are elder like Eda Woli Oyelese, I'm going to give you some beautiful jazz. Lovely songs that will wake you up in the morning and will put you to sleep in the evening. If you are a Gen Z, please, our romantic vibes will be irresistible for you, I can assure you that. If you are a man like me that love hard news, we are going to give you as it breaks. Not stay news. News that you've been waiting for, or you want to air, we will give it to you. And we are going to do something that strengthens the social, political, and economic fabric of this nation. We will speak to politics. We will dive into controversy without taking sides. There are two sides to every political coin. What we intend to do is to bring every side on board, speak to issues without fear or favor. We are going to speak to agriculture. The Nigerian nation is struggling, but the solution to Nigeria is here in Nigeria. By Nigerians investing in Nigeria and doing things that will revamp our economy. Bishop Felix Owolabi has proven that it's not enough to just talk and complain. Nigerians love to complain. Our leaders are not doing well. Our elders are deficient. What are you doing within your own space? What contribution are you making as a person? That 1 million in your pocket, is it for Ashwebi or to create an industry? I'm not saying, I don't think he's as rich as Elon Musk. He's a rich and comfortable person. I've been to his house. And I say, wow, an Okela guy lives there. To God be the glory. But he believes that despite that, he could have chosen to go and live in the Bahamas by the seaside. But believes that we should employ people. We'll be adding to the GDP of Oyo State, to the GDP of Nigeria, and to the growth of Africa. So, I'm just whetting your appetite. Our frequency is 106.1. That is our radio station. Our television is going to be on digital platform and, of course, on traditional platform. And I want to urge, I'm sure NBC is here. It's a pleasure to have you, the National Broadcasting Commission. I think it's time for you, as the regulatory body, to assist television stations in Nigeria. The fact that MultiChoice enjoys monopoly of the satellite broadcasting in Nigeria is timing life out of television owners in this country. It's time to provide an alternative to MultiChoice, so that we have something apart from DSTV and GoTV. And I want to challenge the Federal Republic of Nigeria to do something. It happened before. Tony Subaya had something like that. It went down the drain. We can revive it. That Nigerians, we have alternative. In other climes, there are 10, 20, 30 alternatives.
Dédé wòye ìròyìn ọjọ́ kọrí ló ń dé sí ojú ìwòran yín láti iléeṣẹ́ Dominion Television Ìbàdàn. orúkọ mi ni Ọlámídé dáhùn sí ṣáájú ẹgbẹ́ kókó inú ìròyìn náà. Iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ilẹ̀ òkèrè sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àjọ EFCC láti fi kélé òfin gbé àwọn tó lu jìbìtì orí ẹ̀rọ CBEX. Ní ilẹ̀ òkèrè, aṣòfin kan ní orílẹ̀-èdè Senegal pè fún fífi ẹ̀sùn ìṣọ̀tẹ̀ sí orílẹ̀-èdè ẹnìkan ààrẹ tẹ́lẹ̀rí ní ilẹ̀ náà. Orílẹ̀-èdè Iran sọ wípé kò sí kálọ-kábọ̀ láti ní kẹ́míkà uranium ní ìkáwọ́. Eré ìdárayá, ọ̀pọ̀ ojú ló wà lára Onana báyìí níbi ikọ̀ Man United yóò ṣe kojú Lyon. Ìròyìn náà rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Àjọ tó ń gbógun ti ìwà jẹgúdújẹrá ní ilẹ̀ yìí EFCC ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwádìí lórí bíi tírílíọ̀nù kan ó lé ọ̀wọ́ mẹ́ta náírà owó crypto èyí tí iléeṣẹ́ ìdókòwò orí ẹ̀rọ crypto bank exchange ìyẹn CBEX ṣe màgòmágó rẹ̀. Àjọ ọ̀hún sọ wípé òun ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ papọ̀ pẹ̀lú iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ti orílẹ̀ àgbáyé láti lè fi kélé òfin gbé àwọn tó lu ọ̀pọ̀ ènìyàn ní jìbìtì ọ̀hún. Ṣé CBEX tó jẹ́ ètò ìdókòwò orí ẹ̀rọ láàrin ilẹ̀ òkèrè àti orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ni kò ṣiṣẹ́ mọ́ láti ọjọ́ Ajé ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí, léyìí tí kò fún ogunlọ́gọ̀ olùdókòwò ní àǹfààní láti yẹ àsùnwọ̀n owó wọn wò. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti jẹ́jẹ́ láti dáàbò bo ẹ̀mí àti dúkìá àwọn ará ìlú tó fi mọ́ àwọn ohun amáyérọrùn nípa gbígbé ìgbésẹ̀ akin láti dènà ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ omíyalé àgbàrá ya ṣọ́ọ̀bù. Adarí ẹ̀ka tó ń ṣàbójútó iléeṣẹ́ omíyalé àti ojúṣàn àgbàrá nínú iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń bójútó ọ̀rọ̀ àyíká Usman Bukani ló ṣe ìdánilójú yìí níbi ètò ìtanijí àti ìgbáradì lórí ìdènà ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ omíyalé lọ́dún yìí. Kí a má ṣe gbàgbé wípé mínísítà fún àlùmọ́nì omi ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Joseph Usef ṣe ìkéde wípé ó ṣeé ṣe kí àwọn agbègbè tó tó 1,439 ní àwọn ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ 16 jákèjádò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí kojú ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ omíyalé láàrin oṣù kẹrin sí oṣù kọkànlá ọdún yìí. Mínísítà fún ètò ààbò ní ilẹ̀ yìí Badaru Abubakar ti ṣe ìpàdé pẹ̀lú adarí ètò ààbò ajagun Christopher Musa àti àwọn adarí àjọ elétò ààbò láti jíròrò lórí ètò ààbò tó dẹnukọlẹ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè yìí, pàápàá jùlọ ní ẹkùn àríwá. Àtẹ̀jáde látọwọ́ olùrànlọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìròyìn àti ìpolongo Mati Ali jẹ́ kó di mímọ̀ wípé ìpàdé náà ló dá lórí ìpèníjà tó ń kojú ètò ààbò ilẹ̀ yìí, èyí tó ń wáyé látọwọ́ àwọn aṣẹ̀rùbàlù, ajínigbé àti àwọn jàǹdùkú. Mínísítà ọ̀hún ni wọ́n ṣàlàyé onírúurú ìjàmbá àti ìkọlù tí ẹgbẹ́gun alákatakítí Boko Haram, àwọn ajínigbé àti àwọn jàǹdùkú ṣe sí ẹkùn ìlà oòrùn àríwá, ìwọ̀ oòrùn àríwá àti àárín gbùngbùn àríwá, ìpínlẹ̀ Plateau àti ìlà oòrùn gúúsù orílẹ̀-èdè yìí fún. Mínísítà fún ètò ìlera àti ìgbáyégbádùn àwọn ará ìlú ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Ali Pate sọ wípé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ló ń pàdánù bílíọ̀nù $2 lọ́dọọdún lórí àwọn ohun tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìgbafẹ́ lẹ́ka ètò ìlera, tó sì ní ẹ̀ka ètò ìlera orílẹ̀-èdè yìí gbọ́dọ̀ fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ kí wọ́n sì dẹ́kun gbígbé ara lé ìtọ́jú ilẹ̀ òkèrè. Pàtẹ tí adarí àgbà ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ìṣègùn òyìnbó ti fásitì Èkó Wàsíù Adéyẹmọ ṣojú fún níbi ètò kan nílùú Èkó ṣàlàyé wípé àìní ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé nínú ètò ìlera orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ló ṣokùnfà bí ìjọba àpapọ̀ ṣe ń pàdánù òbítíbitì owó ọ̀hún. Pàtẹ tún yan wípé ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti ṣetán báyìí láti mú àgbéyìndé bá ẹ̀ka ètò ìlera jákèjádò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí nípa àwọn ètò olókan-ò-jọ̀kan tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ètò ìlera èyí tí wọ́n ti gbé kalẹ̀. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Plateau ọ̀gbẹ́ni Caleb Mutfwang ti tọrọ àforíjì lọ́wọ́ àwọn ará ìlú lórí bí ọ̀pọ̀ ilé ìgbé bí ó ti ṣe bàjẹ́ tí ó sì bẹnu àtẹ́lu ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ èyí tó wáyé ní ìpínlẹ̀ náà. Ó tọrọ àforíjì lọ́wọ́ àwọn ará ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Basa fún bí ìjọba àti àwọn àjọ elétò ààbò ṣe kùnà láti dáàbò bo ẹ̀mí àti dúkìá àwọn tó sì bẹnu àtẹ́lu àwọn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìṣekúpani ọ̀hún. Èyí ló wáyé lẹ́yìn tí ẹnìkan tí orí kó yọ nínú ìkọlù náà ṣàlàyé ohun tí ojú rẹ̀ rí lákòókò ìkọlù ọ̀hún. Mutuan tí ó kọ̀wọ̀rìn pẹ̀lú àwọn adarí àjọ elétò ààbò àti ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣèjọba ní ìpínlẹ̀ náà lọ sí agbègbè Zike láti kẹ́dùn pẹ̀lú wọn lórí bí àwọn 50 kan ṣe pàdánù ẹ̀mí wọn, tún rọ̀ wọ́n láti tẹ̀síwájú nínú akitiyan wọn láti rí i wípé ètò ààbò ṣẹnure ní agbègbè náà. Bákan náà ni ó gbà wọ́n ní ìyànjú láti fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn àjọ elétò ààbò nípa fífi ìṣesí tàbí ìrìnsí tó bá mú ìfura dání tó wọn létí. Ní ilẹ̀ òkèèrè, aṣòfin kan ní orílẹ̀-èdè Senegal ti pè fún fífi ẹ̀sùn ìṣọ̀tẹ̀ sí orílẹ̀-èdè ẹnìkan ààrẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ rí ní orílẹ̀-èdè náà ìyẹn Macky Sall. Èyí ló wáyé lẹ́yìn tí àwọn ayẹ ìwé owó wò ṣe àfihàn màgòmágó owó lákòókò ìṣèjọba ààrẹ Sall. Lára àwọn ohun tí ó hàn síta ní ìwà jẹgúdújẹrá àti ṣíṣe ayédèrú ìwé owó. Ṣé mínísítà fún ètò ìdájọ́ ní orílẹ̀-èdè náà Osman Digne sọ wípé ìwà ọ̀daràn tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ètò ìnáwó ni àwọn ṣiṣẹ́ ìwádìí rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ tó sì ní kò sí ẹ̀rí tó fi hàn wípé ààrẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ rí ọ̀hún ṣọ̀tẹ̀ sí orílẹ̀-èdè náà. Mínísítà fún ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ òkèèrè ní orílẹ̀-èdè Iran Abbas Araghchi sọ wípé kò sí kálọ-kábọ̀ lórí ẹ̀tọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè náà láti ní kẹ́míkà uranium ní ìkáwọ́. Araghchi ló sọ eléyìí di mímọ̀ lónìí yìí ṣáájú ìtakùrọ̀sọ ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì pẹ̀lú orílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà lórí ohun ìjagun tí Tehran èyí tí yóò wáyé ní òpin ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ní Oman. Ṣé Araghchi ló sọ eléyìí láti fèsì sí ọ̀rọ̀ tí onínàdúnàdúrà orílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà Steve Witkoff sọ wípé Tehran gbọ́dọ̀ wọ́gi lé ìpinnu rẹ̀ láti mú àgbéǹdédé bá ohun ìjagun rẹ̀ kí ó lè ṣiṣẹ́ papọ̀ pẹ̀lú Washington. Ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè China Xi Jinping ti gúnlẹ̀ sí orílẹ̀-èdè Malaysia lẹ́yìn tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára ìrìn àjò sí ẹkùn Asia láti fi hàn wípé Beijing ṣe fọkàntán láti dókòwò pẹ̀lú ju orílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà lọ. Ṣé èyí ni ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ tí ààrẹ Jinping yóò ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí Malaysia láti ọdún 2013? Ààrẹ Xi Jinping ló kúrò láti orílẹ̀-èdè Vietnam lọ sí Malaysia lẹ́yìn tí ó kí ọwọ́ bọ ìwé àdéhùn ìdókòwò tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìdàgbàsókè AI. Ìròyìn eré ìdárayá adílémú fún ikọ̀ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Manchester United Andre Onana ní ikọ̀ náà gbọ́kànlé báyìí nínú ìfẹsẹ̀wọnsẹ̀ láàrin ikọ̀ agbábọ́ọ̀lù náà àti Lyon nínú ìdíje Europa League tí yóò wáyé ní ọ̀la òde yìí. Adílémú tó jẹ́ ọmọ bíbí orílẹ̀-èdè Cameroon ọ̀hún ló sọ wípé ikọ̀ Manchester United ló dáńtọ́jú alátakò rẹ̀ lọ. Ìròyìn ọjọ́ kan rí kò ní jù báyìí lọ láti iléeṣẹ́ móhùnmáwòrán Dominion. Ẹ lè kàn sí wa lójú òpó www.dominion.org.ng tàbí kí ẹ bá wa dọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ lójú òpó Facebook tí ẹ bá ti tẹ Dominion Broadcast Group àti Instagram, TikTok, YouTube àti X tí ẹ bá ti tẹ @Dominion Broadcast. Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọlámídé Dáùnsì.